For those of you who don't know, I'm Maggie, and today I'm really excited to share with you a gift guide for him. For your boyfriend, your husband, your brother. This is separated into many different categories. So we've got some bags and organization, clothing, accessories, gadgets, home things. And I will say, all of these ideas are new and have not been mentioned before, but if for whatever reason you can't find something for someone on your list in this video, I did release 2 really in-depth gift guides for guys back in like 2019. So I'll be sure to link those in the description box in case you're looking for more ideas beyond those presented here today. But let's go ahead and dive in. We have a long list of things to get through. First item comes from this bags and organization category, and it happens to be this backpack from Walker Family Goods. And this is kind of funny because this is actually my backpack. Brian has one too, but it's like all black and black, and I felt like this green would show up on camera better. So this is their little logo here. And the thing that I love most about this backpack is how organized it is. On the very front of the backpack, it has this great little snap pocket. This is where I like to slip anything that's not super valuable, but I want it easy to access, so like wipes, hand sanitizer. You open up the front flap and you can see that it completely lays flat. So when you get to your destination, it's very easy to access everything. But on a plane, you don't have to do that. You can access it like a normal backpack. So on the inside front, you can see, you can put your identifying information, and then it has this nice little slip pocket. I typically throw a Kindle or an iPad in there when I'm traveling. And then you'll see these 2 compartments. One is mesh up top and one is like completely black. What's really neat about this section is that it could be one big open area like a traditional backpack, or you could snap the little Velcro divider into place, and now you have 2 separate sections. So for me, this is where I store things like my little travel purse, or maybe a change of clothes, or maybe some of my toiletries. So if my luggage gets lost in transit, I have something in my backpack. But then on the upper section, that's where I keep anything that I want to access like frequently. So my wallet or my passport, things like that. On the inside back, you can see that there's also a nice little secure zipper pocket. You could also slip your passport in there. On the very, very back of the backpack is kind of a fleece lined area that's padded and is meant for your laptop. Another great feature, humongous water bottle holder, so it can hold even like the big tall ones without it falling out. So I think that backpack would be fantastic for the frequent traveler in your life, or maybe even somebody who commutes to work, because it does have that dedicated laptop backpack to kind of keep everything safe and sound. Very versatile, comes in a ton of different colors. Now, while we have Walker Family Goods on the brain, I do want to highlight another one of their bags that is just like crazy useful. It's massive. It is absolutely massive, so me just holding it up right now is not going to do it justice. But this is the Valley Duffle Bag, and this is really meant for longer trips. We prefer like roller bags with hard sides, but what we like to use duffel bags for is road trips. We always opt for a duffel bag over a roller bag. And I don't know why, but that's just what we do. Now this has such great capacity that Brian and I both packed all of our stuff in this for a weekend trip, if that tells you anything. It has 3 really awesome organized compartments on the inside that again are customizable. You can flip them up and down if you don't want your bag organized in that way. On one side of the bag, it gives you additional storage space with a separate pocket. So you have these 2 little mesh areas. And on the other side of the bag, you have what they label as stinky stuff. So you can put your dirty clothes over there, or you could use that as like a shoe compartment to keep your shoes separated from your clothes. But I think that the coolest thing about this to me is that it comes with backpack straps. I hate traditional duffel bags that come with that like one shoulder strap, because when you walk it's bumping against your hip and it's annoying and heavy and really weighs you down. Using it like a backpack style is genius, and it's just so much easier to handle. They make a smaller version too. It's called the States Duffel. So instead of having like the 3 organization sections in the middle of the bag, it offers 2, if that like shows you the size differential. Again, this one also comes in a bunch of colors. Brian is just a very classic, always wants black everything, which I don't hate. I do think it looks nice, but they do have more fun colors if you wanted to go like the rust or honey or green route. Great color selection all around. The next 2 bag/organizational items on the list I don't have to physically show you, but I think they would be fantastic, and one of these is also on my own Christmas list. We'll start with that one, and it's this great car organizer, and it comes from Cowpack. It is a little pricey. I feel like you could definitely go on Amazon and probably buy a version of this car organizer for much cheaper, but I'm going for quality here. And since I trust their things and have tested their things, I really want this specific cart organizer. Anyway, it's really nice because it's kind of an accordion style. So you can expand it out and you have 4 compartments for you to store things in, and it just lives in your trunk, or at least this is how I envision it. Brian in the back of his car loves to keep his basketball shoes for when he goes to the gym, and he also has like jumper cables and things like that. So it would be nice to just keep things organized in the trunk, but it's super versatile because you can also snap the compartments down and maybe stick it in the middle of the back seat for your kids on a road trip, and you could keep their snacks and their toys and different things for them to access there. Or maybe you're going to a ball game and you want to bring snacks or blankets, or you're going on a picnic or something. I just think it has so many different uses, and I love that the size is customizable. It's made of this vinyl material, so it's very easy to wipe down. So if you have a very practical person in your life or somebody who likes to go and do, I really think this would be great. Lastly, we have another bag from Calpac. I really did not mean to make this gift guide so brand loyal, but these are brands that I trust, so here we are. This tech pouch is something that I've also had my eye on, and I want to get for Brian as well, because right now he travels with all of his cords in this zipper pouch. So everything's just kind of swimming around in there. The cords get tangled. The pouch is also just too big for the purpose, but this is nice because it's a zipper pouch and it has all of these different elastic bands to keep things organized. It even comes with a zipper pocket too, so if you are feeling lazy or if you're rushed, like you've landed and people are getting off the plane and you just need to shove your cords in there, you do have that option too. Comes with a little handle, so it's easy to kind of take out and carry on its own. If you have a frequent traveler and they also are just kind of like throwing their cords in last minute, I really think that this would be maybe something that they just haven't thought of and is kind of a unique, very, very useful gift. Finished with bags and organization, and we're moving into clothing and accessories, and we're starting off small with this beanie. Now this one comes from the brand called Herschel, but you could get any sort of plain beanie from anywhere. These run at about $25, and these come in like 25 plus colors. So we personally own this exact same beanie in a green, a red, and kind of a mustard color. That one is Brian's favorite. He's claimed that as his own. And if I haven't explained this, Brian is my husband, and everything that I'm mentioning today he owns. And so this is very much vetted by him in my life, and so I thought that these would be great to share. These are his go-to items. So these are awesome to have. We use these walking the dog. There's not much more to say about this. I mean, a beanie is a beanie, but one tip is that you could wrap this up under the tree as like a standalone present. I think anybody would enjoy that. Maybe you could also use this as a stocking stuffer. You could like roll this up really small and like tuck it down in a stocking with a little ribbon. That would be cute. All right, the next thing is this waffle weave hoodie. And when I think of Brian in my head, he is wearing this hoodie. And he has 3 different hoodies from Everlane, which is where this comes from. And this waffle knit version is definitely his favorite. It's a really nice weight. I would say it's kind of a mid-weight. So you could definitely wear this on its own when it's chilly out, but it's also light enough to layer under a leather jacket or a bomber jacket. And this one comes in several different colors. They have this really pretty like blue-gray one that really stood out to me. It's a really decent price point, and Everlane products really are just super high quality. So I really couldn't go without mentioning this if you have a hoodie lover in your life. It looks a little bit nicer too. It's not just like a sweatshirt material. I think another great idea and something that they would wear a lot, and that's also kind of in style right now, is a shacket. So a shirt, jacket, a heavyweight shirt, in other words. And Brian has 2, also from Everlane. This one is from their uniform line, I think. And he has this gray kind of like rusty camel-y color, and he wears black jeans and green jeans the most. The boy doesn't even own a normal pair of blue jeans. So I really tried to look for something that would match both of his favorite pants, which is how we landed here. He's 6'4", and he has his in a size large, if that's helpful with sizing at all. But I feel like the Everlane size charts and the like model sizing that they provide is very helpful. So you should be able to land on the right size using their website. This one's definitely thinner. How he typically wears this is with like a t-shirt underneath. This is unbuttoned and it's just kind of like a casual shirt. But if you're from a colder climate, or if you want your shacket to be used as a standalone jacket in much colder temperatures, like Brian has worn this in below freezing temperatures and been totally fine. Everlane also makes this Sherpa lined one. And I loved this kind of cool toned gray color. And again, matches both his black and his green jeans. And this definitely has some bulk to it. Definitely does have kind of that coat look because it is super thick. It has these nice pockets on the inside. It also has pockets on the outside that are lined with kind of like this cottony material. Of the two, the heavyweight one and the lightweight one that we just discussed, he definitely wears this one the most. So just like the other Shacket, he did get this one in a large as well. And it is large enough for him to layer under it. This next recommendation is not as exciting, but this is for the ultra practical person in your life, and it's these t-shirts from Target. These come from the Goodfellow & Co. line, and these are the highest quality t-shirts that we've ever tried. I feel like there's such a discrepancy between the quality in Target women's clothes and Target men's clothes, and this shirt is like the living example of that, because I have plenty of A New Day branded t-shirts that are super thin, and I know we're gonna get holes in them over time. And this, I swear Brian is gonna have for like 20 years. He has these long sleeved garment dyed pocket tee, pretty sure that's the whole name, in a multitude of colors. He has like 4 of them in the long sleeve, and he also has the short sleeve version. And while they are thick, I don't want you to confuse that with uncomfortable and kind of scratchy. These definitely have a worn in feel while still being structured enough to look nice and not like flimsy and wrinkly. So snag these in all the colors that you can find in your guy's size, because legitimately he's gonna wear these on repeat. All right, the last clothing item I wanna mention in this section are these shoes. Now these are very dirty, but I guess this just further proves that Brian has shown these a lot of love. In fact, he loved these black ones, the first one that he got, so much that he ended up getting these in this really cool orange color. Those were some like limited edition version of these shoes, but Nike sells so many of these casual tennis shoes that you truly can't go wrong. I really think that this is perfect for the guy in your life that's constantly wearing like athletic-y tennis shoes and doesn't have an in-between between like dress shoes or boots and those. This is perfect. You can still go out to dinner in these, and they look a little bit more polished and put together than a typical athletic shoe. And I feel like it's a staple thing that every guy needs to have in their closet. Now, you don't have to get Nike. Brian is just a Nike loyalist. I also really like the brand Karuma, and Everlane, who we already talked about, also has some really decent kind of sneaker options. So, all right, moving into gadgets and home things. And the first thing I can't show you, but it is something that we gifted to my dad for Christmas last year, and it's this awesome smart meat thermometer. It comes from a brand called Yumly, and what's unique about this is that it doesn't work like your typical kitchen meat thermometer. So you don't cook the meat and then once you think it's done, you go out and measure the temp and then put it on for a little longer. No, none of that. You actually put the thermometer into the meat after it's marinated, and you cook with it in the meat so that you can constantly be monitoring the temperature. So there's no guesswork, which is great. So this allows you to really make sure that it cooks to the proper temperature without you losing a lot of heat and opening things up and trying them over and over again. If you have an avid griller in your life, I think that that could be a really cool, like luxurious kind of gift for them. Next up, one of my personal favorite items on this list that we have used quite a lot this fall is our Solo stove. So this is basically a portable smokeless fire pit. So it's just this big metal round tin looking thing. We use like a very quick little fire starter, put the wood inside, and boom, you have a bonfire in like less than 5 minutes. It creates this wonderful, warm, very substantial bonfire. We've done s'mores with it. We've had friends over. It's just been a really nice to have thing. So if you have kind of an outdoorsy person in your life, definitely put this at the top of your list. But I will say it is pricey. So if you have a bigger budget, think about it. If not, maybe you could get them a gift card like toward it. Another thing that we also recently bought, and it's currently on back order, so I'm just gonna throw that out there, is the new, it's called a surround. It basically goes over the Solo stove and provides this great lip for you to put your drinks or maybe your s'more supplies or something, but it also keeps the sides protected, so if you have kids or pets, they won't burn themselves or risk like running into it or anything. Again, it's not gonna ship in time for Christmas, but you could just wrap up a picture and then it could show up on the doorstep if they already own a solo stove, maybe that could be like an upgrade for them. Oh, I said the solo stove was my favorite, but I actually think this is probably my most favorite, most used item on the list, and it's a Fellow electric kettle. Now, I'm saying this one specifically because it's what we own, and we did a ton of research on these different electric kettles when I got really into the idea of doing like the pour over coffee method. I definitely recommend the electric one. They also sell one that goes on your stovetop and operates much like a typical tea kettle. With the electric version, you just set the exact temperature and it will boil the water until it gets to that temperature, and then it will hold it there. Very cool, so useful. So it allows you to do other things while the water's heating up and you don't have to pay much attention to it. Now again, this is on the pricier side, but if you have an avid coffee lover in your life, it's totally worth it. But while we're on the topic of coffee, Brian is more of a fan of cold coffee than he is hot coffee. More often than not, he's making cold brew in this super easy cold brew maker. Now, I say super easy very emphatically because we've had like an OXO cold brew maker before that was like this humongous contraption. It took up so much space on the counter. You had to like do the water in such a way. It was just a little bit more intricate and finicky. But this is the easiest way to make cold brew, and it's really, really good. This maker is actually made by a brand called Hario, something like that. And they did a collaboration with Blue Bottle, which is one of our favorite like coffee companies. So it has this little silicone cap, and all you have to do is grind the coffee, put it into this little basket. You twist the coffee basket onto the silicone top until it doesn't fall off. And then you put the whole thing back down into kind of room temperature water. You just let this sit on your counter for like 12 to 24 hours and then you've made cold brew. It's very easy to clean. It's dishwasher safe. This is silicone, also very easy to clean. And it's just no frills. I seriously cannot recommend this to you enough if you have a cold brew lover in your life. All right, next up in the home category, and I started laughing because Brian helped me make this list of things that he really loved, and this was a piece of art, and he took it completely off of his wall and brought it in here for me to film, and I thought that was so funny because I totally could have just like gotten a shot of it on his wall. But this particular company is one that we both fell in love with. They make the coolest posters, or I guess like prints, of sports teams and music and movies and TV shows. They describe it as mid-century modern art, but I think this is just a fun way to kind of get like a personalized gift that's also a little elevated. So if you still have that guy in your life that's like decorating with flags from college or something, and you want to help them step things up a bit, I really think this could be a great option. So if that feels like the style of the person that you want to gift to, definitely consider them. And then I'm pretty sure I got that frame that fits it perfectly. It's a poster frame from Amazon. So I'll be sure to link that below too. I want to say all in, the print and the frame cost somewhere around $50. Okay, last item is a gadget, and it happens to be the Nintendo Switch. Now, I know these were so hot like 3 or 4 years ago, I feel like, whenever Brian got this, but I still think this is a great gift. So if you grew up like us as 90s kids playing video games and you want to revisit those games for nostalgic purposes, this is a fantastic gift. Now, it's really cool. It's kind of the size of a Sega, if y'all remember that. I have vivid memories of playing the Lion King game on our Sega on road trips. That's about the size that you're dealing with here, but it's cool because this is the console itself, but then you can also like pop off these side pieces, and these are the controllers. So you have the option to add on extra controllers, and you can cast these games like to your TV. Our friends have 4 controllers, and we play Mario Party like on their TV using this device that's kind of hooked up to it. So it's so fun as like a group game. So if you're just feeling nostalgic and the guy in your life really loves video games and would love to revisit that, this is awesome. It's also a really fun thing to travel with, and it has such a small footprint that it can just slip into your bag just like an iPad or something like that. Or maybe you have somebody who already owns the Switch, you could get them another game, or you could get them additional controllers or something. So just kind of probe, see what they may need, see what they're missing, and I think that any sort of accessory or the console itself would make for a great gift. And that is everything on the gift guide for him. So if you would like to see this in written form and any of the other gift guides that I've released in this year or in years prior, they're all on my website, Maggie'sTwoCents.com. All of the links are there, and you can access every video from the website as well. Hopefully you got some good ideas. You have the creative juices flowing now that you can go shop for your friends and family. And if you like this video, then like it. Stick around, subscribe, join the community, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.